All right, so I want to look at how to multiply some difficult polynomials. Sorry guys, this is the way it is. So multiplying difficult polynomials, well, that involves just multiplication and polynomials, and it's a bunch of garbage, but we got to do it, right? So let me give you an example. 3x squared minus 4x, okay, and we're going to put that in parentheses. Then we're going to put 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. We'll put that in parentheses. Now, the thing about multiplying polynomials, well, it's really simple. You just got to make sure you've taken care of every little part and that you've multiplied everything. So what you got to do is you got to take your first term and you need to multiply that through, okay? And that's going to give you a new piece, right? But you got to do that to everything, okay? You can't leave any stone unturned. You have to make sure that you multiply everything together here. So if I take 3 times 3, that's going to make 9. Now I have an x squared and I have another x squared. When we multiply, the exponents have to add. So we're going to add those together, and that's going to make x to the 4th. Okay? Now, we're going to keep going. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. We have 2x's here, 1x here. Even though that 1 is not listed there, it's still there. So we have an x to the 3. So you got to understand the powers we have there. Okay, now we got 3x squared times 2, which is just going to give me a positive 6x squared. Okay, but I'm not done. Okay, I got to take this other part now and multiply it through. So make sure you pay attention and you do that every time. So if I multiply that times that, that's going to give me a negative 12x to the 3rd. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing, keep going. Negative 4 times negative 4, well, that's positive, right? Positive 16x squared. So the common mistake when we're doing this is that we're going to add things instead of multiply them, or we're going to multiply exponents when we're supposed to add them. So just be very, very, very careful with that. Okay, so now we're going to do our last one, which is negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8, and we have an x. Now the last step is to take a look and see if you have anything that you can combine together. What I do notice is that I only have one of these x's and I only have one of these 4's, so I can bring them straight on down. Okay, so I'm going to have 9x to the 4th, and I'm going to have negative 8x on my end. Okay, now in between I have some things I can combine together. For example, I have a negative 12 and a negative 12 here. Now both of those are x to the 3rds, so that means I can combine them together. I can add them because they're like terms. So negative 12 and negative 12 makes negative 24. And we don't do anything with the exponents when we add them, we just keep them the same. So when we multiply, we add, and when we add, we don't do anything with them. So you got to pay attention to that. Now, the last step, so we've taken care of all of this stuff, right? So we're done with it. Last step, this guy and this guy. Well, those are like terms too. They both have squares. So 6 and 16, well, that makes 22. And it's x squared. And finally, we have our bottom answer, which is a nice standard nested form, okay? We got our degrees up near the top and continuing on down through, okay? Make sure that you're paying attention to the multiplication rules, okay? And what you're adding and what you're not adding, okay? Because that's the biggest mistake. These are not very difficult. You just have to take your time when you're multiplying polynomials.